The federal government is setting up a special task force to tackle fraud in the National Disability Insurance Scheme. It's responding to reports that organised crime gangs may target the scheme. But as Norman Hermont reports, some disability advocates argue the NDIS has bigger problems than fraud.
Today there was a blunt message for any criminal planning on defrauding the NDIS.
You come after the NDIS and we will come after you.
The scheme has been dogged by reports that some banned daycare operators have switched to become NDIS providers. The government says the multi-billion-dollar budget is a tempting target, and it's unveiled a 100-person task force as part of the crackdown.
We know that it sadly will attract criminals, so we're doing everything we can to ensure from the outset, as the scheme grows, we are onto this.
For some advocates, though, there are questions. First, the scheme already has a body to fight fraud, the Quality and Safeguard Commission. Others point out that perhaps bigger problems are the huge waiting list for plans and poorly trained staff.
We want to see fraud addressed, but we also want to see the resources in place to address many of the implementation issues that people with disability are raising daily with us.
Those are issues NDIS participant Luke Nelson knows all too well. He lives with cerebral palsy and an intellectual disability. Luke's all for fighting fraud, but he'd rather see caps on NDIS staffing lifted to help make this scheme more accessible.
I'm not saying we don't need it, but I think it would be better off to spend the money on planners instead of what they're doing now.
Participants like Luke, advocates, peak bodies, all agree when it comes to the NDIS, there's no shortage of problems to fix. Norman Hermont, ABC News.